What is going on, traders? Another week has passed. Let's actually take a look how the continuation model that I publicly presented on YouTube has performed this week. The goal is really simple. We are going to be trading the London session as well as the New York session. We are going to try to reach a phase 1 prop firm challenge pass, so that is around 10%. So the goal for this video will be to make 10% with the continuation model. Now, for those who do not know the continuation model yet, I have a link in the description, but I will also give you a really quick introduction here so you can follow along the video. And then if you like the results, check out that video later, which will be in the description. So for those of you who already know the continuation model, you can go ahead and skip through the video. Skip like, I would say 30 seconds, and then you will get to the juicy part right away. All right, so for those who do not know, the continuation model is a trend following based model where we will basically capitalize on liquidity sweeps. So right here, we can see that a bullish trend has been going on. And as soon as we sweep a low, so we take the liquidity from a low right here, as you can see, as soon as we take that out and then displace again above that previous high, we are then going to use our premium and discount zone from that displacement leg. And everything below 50% is going to be discounted. Everything above is going to be premium. And for longs, we are going to try to get a discounted entry. We will be using a fair value gap, or if possible, a breaker block. Now, in this case, the breaker block is above the 50% level, so we would not be taking a trade here. All right, so now you know the continuation model. Let's actually get right into the backtesting session. The way I will approach this is I will try to cover each and every session till we make 10%. I will show you the wins, the losses. Everything right here is being done in FX Replay. As you can see, this is full screen. I do not have anything else open. So this, of course, are fair results. Now, keep in mind that we are only going to be covering a few trades and just a week of data, which is no benchmark. But I think the data that we will be collecting here is going to be quite interesting. All right, so first things first, we have to skip ahead to the London session. Alrighty, so as you can see, we have arrived in the London session of Monday, the 13th of November on EU. As we can see, we are quite bullish right now. So if we are looking for entries, we are going to look for a sweep on the sell side, followed by a continuation to the upside here. We could classify this right here as a sweep, but there is no real follow through just yet. So I'm not going to take a long position. And now it seems like we are starting to break the low, so it could be that right now we are flipping bearish. We already have this high right here being swept and price is moving lower, showing us that the market likely has intention to proceed lower, but the trend is not confirmed yet. I would first like to see this low being broken again before we have a confirmed bearish trend, and then we can start looking for possible continuation model entries, right? Okay, so now this low has been broken. At this point, I am really interested in shorts. As we can see, we actually violate this specific high right here, and then we proceed to break the low. So this is a perfect setup for a continuation model entry. So what we will do is we will first wait to have the market show us the intent of actually reversing. Oh, it is pushing down quite aggressively. What we will do now is map out the premium and discount levels. Now, I'm assuming that the market is going to pull back because of this big candle. If the market were to displace lower, we would, of course, have our zone drawn more to the downside, right? And we are anchoring our high always where the sweep is. All right, so if we take a look right here, there is no real strong breaker block because there is no fair value gaps on the other side here. So what we will be using is going to be the fair value gap that we have right here. So we will place our order short right there. We are going to cover the high and we are going to target the low hanging fruit here, which will not provide us with 2R. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this a little. I'm going to try to get at least 2R of my trades. So we are a little bit below the low hanging fruit. Our stop loss is always going to be above candle number 1. And then we will place our order for 1% here. And as you can see, we actually get filled right here. So that's beautiful. And we almost get stopped out, but then we have a really strong reaction right here. Price is kind of slow, but what we might have right here is a possible second continuation model setup. So we could potentially scale in right here if we break this low, because we are still in that bearish trend. Right, so here we might sweep again. Let's see. All right. Yes, so this is quite decent, but I want to see this low being broken first. And there we go. We also close below it, so that's very nice. So what we can do is, again, we can basically scale in. We can draw out our premium and discount zone. So everything above this line is going to be premium and everything right here is going to be discounted. Now here we have this fair value gap right around the 50% level. So this is not discounted. The one above is discounted, however, plus this is a scale-in, so I want to keep the stop loss really tight. And we are going to have the low-hanging fruit right here as our main target. Let us place that order and see if we get filled. It could be that price just runs down, of course. But here we have a sweep. We will play that sweep and try to capitalize on it. All right, I do not really like this price action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cancel the scale-in. And I'm going to move the stop loss of my initial position. I'm going to move that to where the sweep was to manage risk. And as we can see, that was a really good call. So now we are down, let's see, we are down $433. And that is on a 100K account, which means that we are down 0.4%, which is quite manageable, right? So the first trade right here was a loss, which is perfectly fine. Let's see if we can find another setup here. All right, so we just skipped ahead to the New York session right here, and it's very obvious price is really bearish. So we are going to try and catch a bearish move here if we see a sweep occur and a follow through to the downside. All right, so here we do see a nice little continuation model setup occur. So we have our sweep of liquidity and our follow through right here. So I would be more than happy to jump into a possible short right here in the extreme FEG. And our target would be a solid 1 to 2R. There we go. Let's place that order. And unfortunately, we did not get filled. So let's remove this order right here and wait for another possible setup to form. Let's see if we actually displace to the downside through these lows. We do, but unfortunately, we set up relative equal highs right here. So this is not a valid continuation model entry. And now it seems like the market is starting to reverse. We breached through all of these highs with displacement. I want to see a bit more follow through to the upside. There was a possible setup right here, as we can see, but the closure was not really, I mean, the price action, the displacement was kind of missing. Didn't get that follow through, so no entries for me there. Steep push to the downside. And actually, if we take a look at this price action from a fractal point of view, as we can see, we know that we are flipping bullish. We had a sweep right here. We had this big amount of follow through. We can actually pull our FIB tool. We can see that we are currently in a discounted area for buys. What we could do is smack on an order right here on this fair value gap, right? There we go. And we can see if we actually get filled, and the target right here is just going to be that low hanging fruit, that high right here. Let's see if the market tags us in, and it actually does right here. We are filled, and ooh, this candle is kind of funky looking. We have a beautiful reaction to that fair value gap right now, so this is really nice. And now at this point we created relative equal lows, so I'm not going to manage my my stop loss here because there is imbalance left below these lows, plus we have relative equal lows. They didn't sweep each other out, so no management when it comes to the stop loss yet. And then right here, our position actually hits our profit target for around 2.5R. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Let's see if we are presented with another setup before 11. We can trade till 12, but I usually like to see them before 11 for them to really work out as good as we expect. Okay, so right here, we do take out this low, take it out perfectly. What I now want to see is that we displace through that high right here so that we can grab a nice continuation trade. All right, so now it seems we sweep that low again, so the market might actually be slowing down. I really want to see a strong push to the upside for me to remain bullish. Otherwise, I might look for shorts again. And it seems like we're heading for that London liquidity. So this push is quite strong. And we actually, I wasn't being too analytic, but we have another continuation model set up right here, as we can see. So let's use our FIB tool, pull it to the high here. And as we can see, we have a fair value gap right here. This one is below the 50% level, but I think the stop would be a little wide for my liking. Let's see. Yeah, in this case, I would likely manage my stop something like this. Then we just cover the extreme FEG, as you can see, and our target solid 2R, which I think is going to be near the London highs. Let's see, we could extend it a little to have a logical target which is going to be that fair value gap. Let's place that order and see if it works out. All right, we didn't get a fill there. That's annoying. Now at this point, I'm probably going to call it a trading session. So far, we're up 2% on 1 day, so that's pretty good. Let's go to the next session. Alrighty, coming into the London session, as we can see, we are quite rangy, so the market is yet to decide on a direction. What I'm waiting for is a really strong amount of displacement for the London session to decide which direction it wants to take. Seems like we are heading towards the previous daily high here. We do not take it out just yet. Now we do, but only by a few pips so far. So no really clean price action right here. You could classify this possibly as a continuation model entry if we were to break that high. And now we're starting to really shift lower. This is a really strong push. This is institutional selling power right here. All right, so again, we did sweep, but we didn't really have that follow through to start catching longs. I am pretty interested in longs, however, because the market obviously chose its direction. We have that previous daily high that we did sweep, but the reaction to it was kind of weak. I would have, if this was a sweep, we would have likely seen that the market immediately reacted to it, right? Push up a little bit higher, a few more pips, and then really react to it, but we didn't see that. And our key level right here, because this is basically our previous anchor point, right? This from the London session, this would be a structural low. As soon as we violate this one, like drastically, then I would be looking for shorts. But overall, rangy day, you know, this is a really clean push for a continuation model entry, actually. Really clean. We are quite extended already though. That's okay. So right here we have a breaker block and we have that in confluence with a fair value gap. We also have our sweep and we can actually stack our long position somewhere over because of course I will pull the fib tool, but it's quite obvious that this area is the perfect place for us to enter. What we will do is we will enter right here on where the breaker block and the FEG meets. And our target is going to be the previous height that we put in there, right? Let's see, I do not really want to see if we really push down with a lot of strength here because we just took out that previous London high right here, right? So it could be that we're in for some kind of a reversal here. So if I just see consecutive bearish candles now, I might remove my my buy limit. Okay, yeah, at this point, this is not looking too good, honestly. So I might actually just remove the buy limit right here. I really don't like how strong we react to that sweep of liquidity. And there we go, was a wise decision. Okay, now in most cases, what I would tell my students is to sit on your hands till the market really shows us its true intent, because what we did just now is we took out some sell side liquidity and we also took out some buy side liquidity. All right, so this is a situation where I tell beginner traders to really sit on their hands. It's something that I would probably do as well. So right now I will likely not be taking any trades in London unless it's really clean, unless we really have a sense of direction here. Okay, nothing really. Cool. I'm gonna move to the New York session now. All right, so we have arrived at the New York session. So far, really ranging price action. Pretty unclear what the market wants to do right here. At this point, it's just sweeping the buy side, sweeping the sell side. I don't want to get involved in price action like this. Now, it seems like it has a tendency to go to the upside, but what we did do is we accumulated liquidity right here. So below here will be liquidity. So I'm thinking some kind of AMD play will likely occur here. Oh, and there we go. That's news. That's news. Let's see if the market settles down and presents us with another opportunity. Long, of course. All right, so right here again, a beautiful, beautiful continuation opportunity, right? We sweep this low, this structural low. We then really have a strong reaction to the upside. We have this market structure shift right here. So let's actually see. Let's grab our fib tool here. We can enter off of this middle FVG that we have, cover the low here, and our target is going to be around 2R. There we go. Let's see if we manage to get a fill. Of course, we will also have to expand our premium and discount zone here. Still at the same spot, so it's looking good. We get filled here. It's perfect. Almost got stopped out, but we're still in the position, still rocking. And there we go. A really strong push to the upside, netting as our 2R. So right now we're up a little over 4%. That's really, really amazing. Okay, so let's head to the next day, the London session. All right, so overall looking at the Asian session right here, what we can see is that after the Asian session, we had the Asian highs swept, and now it seems like the market is making its way down. So we have a bearish trend, and we also have a clear target on the downside. So for me, I would likely be looking for shorts till we take that out and show a sign of reversal. The kill zone just started as well, and we noticed that these highs were left intact right here. Now this one, how this candle is reacting, this might be, oh yeah, this is a sweep for sure. So far, no real FEGs being left behind. All right, this is a great opportunity. So let's see if we actually have something that we can take a trade off of. We have this breaker block right here that we can actually take a short off of right here. This would just be in our, or just around equilibrium, which is fine. So this could be a nice place to short from, covering the previous candle's high. As for our target, we could simply target these lows. So let's put on the limit and let's see what happens here. Seems like we put in relative equal lows, and now we took out that major sell side that I was speaking about. So I'm going to remove my limit. This is not going to be a trade that I take. And now I'm basically expecting at least a bullish pullback, or possibly the market to actually want to reverse, because we took out that major level of sell side liquidity. All right, so clearly the market is bullish. We have a bunch of liquidity resting on the upside. So I am really hoping for a setup right here. Okay, we do seem to sweep this particular low right here. Oops, there we go. And we have immediate follow through. That's really clean. Let's grab our FIB tool, pull it to the highs right here and see. So we have this FEG, I suppose. This one hasn't formed yet. So we have this one as our fair value gap. We can place an order right on that because it also aligns with a breaker block. We can cover the low here. And as for our target, we could honestly go for these relative equal highs that we put in right here. So that's what I will do. I'm gonna target that extreme high because on a higher time frame, looking at this will be one big high, right? So if we jump to the hourly, this is going to be relative equal highs there as well. As you can see on the 4 hour, this forms one single high. So that's what we're gonna play right here. Let's see if we get a fill because price is moving really strong. It could be leaving without us. All right, now I'm quickly checking. It doesn't look like a sweep. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this position on, looking good. All right, I really don't wanna see these lows being broken. As we can see, we swept this low here as well. So I'm going to manage my stop loss below that to just get rid of some of the risk. And there we go. That's another W, and we made 2.5 R on this one. That's really clean. So now we are up 6.6%, which is really, really nice. Perhaps we can find another trade right here. Now we took out this liquidity. We headed for this right here as well. Let's see what the intent of the market is here. Ooh, I think the market wants to continue lower. So now we're waiting for a sweep of a high to be able to catch a continuation to the downside. And it seems like we actually get that immediately, right? So right here, this high right here gets swept. We have a really strong reaction. We break that low right here. We have clear bearish intent. Overall, we are bearish. So what we can expect right now is a strong reversal, I would say. So let us take a trade off of the fair value gap that we have right here. Place an order short, cover the high. And as for our target, a solid 2R, and I will manage risk as soon as we take out any of these lows. I will likely manage my stop loss at a logical level. Okay, we do get an instant fill right here. A beautiful reaction to the FEG. This is a picture perfect setup, right? This is a picture perfect setup. All right, let's see what happens here. Okay, at this point, if we do go lower, now my stop loss goes to break even. I don't want to have any more risk because we could just as well take this London liquidity that we have in reverse. But there we go. We tap into our target, making another 2R. So right now we're up 8.8%. That's beautiful. At this point, we are really extended pretty low. And also there was no possible entry here anyway. It's 5, so let's get to the New York session. All right, so what we can immediately see right here with this New York price action, I didn't manage to catch any position. Nothing got swept here, right? Nothing got swept. Always just clean price action, and then right here news kicked it, and we took out the London liquidity before shooting lower. So what I am expecting is that our next logical target is going to be the London low that we put in. Let's see if we can see a high swept Okay, now we might just be reversing. Let's see. It's a really strong reaction to that sell side being taken out, and now it seems like we're reacting to this liquidity being taken out. If we break this low again, it's quite confirmed that this was not a liquidity sweep and that we're likely just going to continue to the sell side. So we should look to the left right here, what we might be reaching for. And of course, we have plenty of sell side resting below here. So it would be quite obvious to actually go for shorts. So let's see if we can have a sweep. Nothing with follow through really. And now we are starting to run back to the upside. So we will likely see this being mitigated, but then I think price action will likely slow down quite a lot because now our liquidity is resting all the way above here, all the way down here. So it is 11, we will likely see the market slowing down, being rangy, and that's exactly what it's doing. So no trades here in the New York session. Let's see if the next day, which is going to be Thursday, is going to give us a possible setup in London or even New York. Right, so arriving at the London session, we can see that the Asian session actually took out the previous day's low from that New York session. And now we can also see that there is a bunch of liquidity resting on the buy side. We're also showing that the market wants to drive higher. So let's see if London wants the same and we can possibly catch continuation entries there. Alrighty, this is really clean. So we are in the bullish trend. We did take out this low right here. We are displacing to the upside. We broke through that previous high. We're actually already right here. This one is just extra confirmation. And right now we can start pulling our fib tool. And it seems like our breaker block again perfectly aligns with a fair value gap. Let's place the order right here on equilibrium. The low we will cover is going to be all the way down here. This is wide, but of course, we cannot compare it to this price action right here. Of course, London is going to have quite a bit more momentum. So I think targeting 2R is not going to be too crazy right here. Let's actually smack that on. And of course, in this position, we will likely manage when and where possible. Let's also extend. Right, so that fair value gap is still kind of mostly above equilibrium. So I'm going to stick with my entry here. And we actually get filled. To my surprise, I thought we would start reversing here. Let's see. Ooh, and there we go. One big candle taking us all the way to take profit. And I think, yes, we actually hit 11% now. That's beautiful. That's really clean. All right, so this concludes our backtesting session. Let's go ahead and hop to the analytics. Alrighty, so we have arrived at the analytics page. As you can see, we have a really decent win rate again. We made 11%. Our account balance grew all the way to 111K, which is really clean. We took a total of 6 trades to make 11% to pass most prop firm challenges here. But of course, keep in mind, totaling 6 trades, you are not able to make a valid conclusion. You really need to thoroughly test these strategies. I personally do that, the elite members do that, and we all have pretty big data sets. These data sets are necessary to sharpen your confidence, to keep you consistent, to keep you sharp. So make sure to backtest this yourself. You might not immediately get similar results because by no means 80% is by no means a realistic percentage of a win rate to target. So damper your expectations. This of course is by the use of my expertise. I've been trading the markets for almost 8 years now. So do not expect to instantly get the same results. Play around with this, try different confluences. And if you're really into ICT concepts, SMC concepts, or just want to become technically better in trading, I do have an elite program open. I will leave a link to that in the description. I think this will conclude the video right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. You could also leave a comment, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to catch videos like this in the future, make sure to subscribe. You can already go through a set of backtesting sessions that I have on the channel if that's something you're interested in. So feel free to check that out. I also have a free Discord, go in. So if you're interested in that, link for that will also be in the description. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.